Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Yesterday we saw Abram make it through a rough time. After God had called him to go into the land and to dwell there with the promise that one day his descendants would receive the land, there was a great famine. And Abram had to go down into Egypt and to stay there to be relieved of the famine. Well, while he was there, he told Pharaoh and everyone around him that Sarai was his sister, which was a half-truth because she was his half-sister, but he left out the part that they would have been interested in, and that is that she was his wife. And things didn't go very well. There's kind of some tension that goes on in Egypt, but God ends up working out the situation. And in chapter 13, in our reading today, we find Abram going back up through the Negev, and he ends up back at the place where he had first settled between Bethel and Ai. And we're told that there he went back to the altar that he had previously built, and he called upon the name of the Lord. And this becomes for us a very important principle and something that we can follow as well. You know, Abram is the father of faith, as we call him. You can reference Galatians chapter 3, Romans chapter 4, which teach us that he had a faith that we should emulate in our lives. But it doesn't mean that his faith was perfect. Sometimes he didn't get things right. Sometimes he would mess up. He would tell half lies like we saw in chapter 12. But one of the things that is admirable about Abram is that he would always return back. He never gave up. He had his faults. He would mess up. There was times when he acted in ways that were not in line with faith, but he would always come back in faith, back to God. And that's what we find him doing today in our reading. Going back to where he started, back to the altar that he built, and calling on the name of the Lord afresh. And that's something that we need to emulate in our lives. There's times when we're going to get off track. Let's face it, as we look back on our lives, there's times that we get off track. Maybe it's because of some type of tragedy, as with Abram and the famine. Maybe some type of family issue comes up, or financial issues come up, marriage problems or something, and life kind of hits us and kind of gets us off course and gets us off track. We need to follow Abram's example here and go back to our altar. Go back to where we were once before. I think all of us can look back on our lives, and if we've been walking with the Lord for any amount of time, we can look back on times when we were really zealous for the Lord, times when we were passionate for God, times when our worship was true and authentic, times when we were working for the Lord, laboring for the Lord, we were looking for opportunities to serve, perhaps we were sharing the gospel with people with passion, and we can remember back to those fresh experiences of the presence of God and His love and His grace. And as time goes on, maybe we lose that. And again, because of circumstances, maybe we lose the love that we once had. Let's go back to our altar. Today, let's make it our goal to go back to our altar, to go back and remember those times when we were passionate, full of love for the Lord, and to return to that mindset once again. Maybe we get off track, but hey, let's be like Abram and say, we're not going to let that keep us from moving forward and seeking the Lord once again. So that's our encouragement today. Let's go back to the Lord. Let's go back to our altar. Let's call on the name of the Lord afresh. Let's make our lives about Him. Let's go back to the simple life of just walking by faith, being motivated by the hope, and exercising love for other people, and giving ourselves wholly to the Lord once again. So thank you guys for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.